Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
In today's football, there aren't a lot of goals for defenses. But when you hold a team under 100 total yards of offense, yeah, that has to be a goal that was met. Big check mark for them in last week's game.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Operating from the gun. Love. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now Sanders. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Ready. 53 at the mark. Come on. Let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He completes it to Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Owens. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He'll look to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
That one goes for 24 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. On second down now, it's Richards. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. On third down, Richards. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Going to give this time to the tailback. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They run a draw here on second down. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. From the gun, Love. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the second time. And Sanders now to return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Well, the drive starts with a completion, left side. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll run on 1st down. Boyce. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now a give, right side. Boyce. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Now a handoff here to his running back. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Boyce. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. They'll drop the throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play?
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go.
And the ball comes out. Love lost it, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Ready. 10 Lobo. 59. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Well, now they'll try the end around. Now, I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Call it a loss of 6 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Ready, set. Mike, 59, Mike. Check, 59.
2nd and long. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Nice pick.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. 2nd down and inches. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Richards. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. A final shot before break. Love. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, and it's the Eagles who are out in front. The Eagles trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they trail the visiting Falcons in that one at halftime. The Falcons seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they trail that one to the visiting Oakland Raiders. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8.
Set, 8, read. 59, Mike to 59. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And 2.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Boyd. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, Haywood! 53, Mike. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Ready?
2nd and 2. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to it for the year. I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 21.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
Go now. 60 out now. 3 ball.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Patriots make some inroads here on that deficit. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
18 Gator. 59. He's scared.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Looking to throw. Space to maneuver at the 40. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh. Check. Get it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there for New England. 49 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So now, following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And it's caught.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Operating from the gun, Love. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score of Vikings 21, Patriots 7.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Love. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Danielle Hunter in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. On fourth down. Love. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And now out comes Minnesota. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Back to throw now on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Boyd. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Let's go one more.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Now back to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here.
And it's a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he's got room. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel little.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw. Love. That one into the hands of Hamilton.
Pass interference. Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2nd and 15. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun. Love. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for New England. Fielded at the 33. Good blocking there and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Ready. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. And I'm coming after you. Ready.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. This is caught inside the 15. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Looking to throw. Love. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they're setting themselves up as a major contenders. They move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for New England, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.